Hey there, I'm Foodle, and before we get into everything today, I just wanted to say that this audio was recorded on my phone, which I believe has a blown out mic, so due to that, things might sound a little wonky. I tried my best to make it better in editing, but it is far from perfect. So if something sounds muffled or off, you're not going crazy. I think. Also, let me know what you think of this type of content, as I already have a lot of other videos planned and am having fun making these. So with all that said, here's the content you actually clicked for.
Alrighty, hello there everybody. So I actually have here two different boxes from Hot Topic that I have ordered. I'm not going to be opening this top one here because this is actually for a video that I'm going to be putting out next week. This is the box that doesn't have any relevance to what I want this video to be, but this will be for next week's video. I want to try to do these as frequently as I can, and right now I'm in a position where weekly is totally within reason, so I'm just going to hop right into it. Also, apologies for the weird framing here. I just don't really have a clear flat surface for me to put any of these on, so I'm just kind of using my bed because it's the most open space I have currently. So bear with me here as I go ahead and open up this box. So there is actually a total of 6 different figures inside this box, if this is the right one I'm thinking of. So we're gonna go ahead and crack this open and take a look at all 6. I am opening this upside down, just because it was more convenient for shipping. Okay, so they actually did this in a really, really good way. So each one of these is really, really interesting pop. So these are all pop figures, so we'll go ahead and take all these out. I'm not going to look too much at the labels. I already saw one, but they're kind of getting mixed over here, so we'll kind of leave it up to a surprise as well as to what these could possibly be. But these are also really, really cool to have as well. These are the 10th anniversary Five Nights at Freddy's mystery minis that actually feature some of the Withereds and then some of the classics and new designs. Overall, really, really cool set of vinyl figures. My personal favorite mystery minis that Funko has ever done. And I actually have 5 of them ordered in this box here, which we are not going to be opening today. These are going to be what next week's video is about. So the reason why I didn't open that other case is because there aren't any pops in there. There are actually 5 more of these guys. And something else I ordered. That's, again, FNaF related. So I will show you that when I can, but for now, let's go ahead and get all 5 of these minis out of the way. So we're gonna go ahead and open these up. I'm not gonna look at which one it is. Oh, yeah. All right. So here is one of the brand new Withered figures. This is Withered Foxy from this brand new set. As you can see, all 5 figures are back here. A really, really, really cool figures. The Withereds were ones that people were wanting for a very long time, myself included, and so it's really, really cool to finally have some sort of vinyl figure of these. I will take these out of box here later, but right now we're just going to roll with them in box. So set him over there. So that's really cool. This one's got some weird Funko tape around it, so this will be an interesting one, because it's the only one of these that has it, so I'm assuming it's not one of the Withereds here. Apologies if this footage is a little, messed up, just because I've not really gotten much practice. I was a little excited to get into these. So we'll go ahead and open this up. Okay, so this is not the one I thought it was going to be. This... Oh, gotta be careful here. This is actually the 10th anniversary Hot Topic exclusive marionette, and wow, that looks so good. That is such a clean pop there. It's got a nice little stand protruding out of its back, and a 10-year anniversary. A really, really cool figure. One of the reasons why I ordered these from Hot Topic in the first place. And there actually was one more 10th anniversary Hot Topic exclusive pop produced as well that I did actually go ahead and order. However, I didn't realize it until after I placed the order. There was actually a pre-order for a restock, that being the Withered Golden Freddy pop. So we'll be waiting on that one. Did just accidentally look at one of the labels for one of the ones coming up next. Now this one is cool. This is the Withered Chica pop, and wow, that looks a whole lot better in person. I was kind of worried because she looked a little but now actually seeing her in person, she looks a whole lot better. It's not just the FNaF 1 Chica, but with a weird mouth. But no, a very, very, very cool pop indeed. I already saw this one twice, so I might as well go ahead and get him over with, even though he's a little off topic for what we've been opening. But this is a pop that's been out for a while, probably the oldest thing in this video. This is actually the Security Breach Hot Topic exclusive Sun and Moon figure. So recently, they had just restocked this on Hot Topic. I'm not really sure why. It is a really old figure. Like, we are well in the 10,000s now for games, and this is 919, so a fairly older figure to kind of just randomly restock, but I was not able to get a hold of this guy both times I tried to get him. I tried finding him in store, but they said they sold out just a few days prior to him, and then I actually ordered for the Killer Clown set, the JoJo the Clownzilla pop, and was going to order him alongside it, but it sold out a few days prior to JoJo coming out, so both times I've been a few days shy of getting him, but not this time. I was able to pick him up in this order. Alright, and that leaves 2 pops for today. It looks like we're going to save the best for last, but that does not mean this is bad at all. This is actually the Withered Freddy pop, again from the new set. It does look a little similar to the original Freddy. If, you know, previous pops didn't exist and it was just the 10th anniversary movie Freddy, which I currently do not have, it'd be a little more neat. And now that just leaves us with one more box here to open up. This being Withered Bonnie. This is actually the second pop Withered Bonnie has gotten. He got one previously that was Walmart exclusive and is actually considered the rarest FNaF pop and goes for the most. So this is an interesting pop to see a remake of. But yes, that is all of the Withered set, plus a 10th anniversary marionette, and the Sun and Moon Hot Topic exclusive pop. I want to go ahead and show off one more thing, that being this actual deluxe mangle pop that I had ordered elsewhere already and have had for a while. So it's not part of this order. I ordered it separately, and it came in a bit ago. From the Withered wave as well, the mangle, so these are all 5 pops right here in hand, and Withered Foxy just got smited. So we'll go ahead and actually take all these out of box and get a decent look at them here in just a second. So we'll go ahead and go, I guess, oldest to newest with these. I'm always really, really paranoid about taking pops out of their boxes, just because I can never go without damaging them in some way, but it looks like we're gonna have a bit of luck here with this one, I say as I start crunching the cardboard. But no, here is, oh wow, the Sun and Moon. The attention to detail on the back, I didn't even realize, that is so cool. It's the circuits boards from the game, the little hook that he hangs on. A little interesting how they decided to make both characters into one. I feel like they could have easily done like a Hot Topic exclusive 2-pack and do Sun and Moon, and they never did go back and make them all separately. They did Ruined Eclipse with a similar mold, but they never did make Sun and Moon separately, so interesting. But still, if there was any character to make from Security Breach, it would be this guy, and he is super cool and really, really awesome. Really nice addition to the collection. Some paint chipping right there I noticed, but you know, not every pop is going to be 100% perfect, and you know, for the price you really can't beat pops. So oh, and he does actually come with a stand. It's just actually on top of the pop for some reason. So next we'll go ahead and do the 10th anniversary marionette exclusive. Again, just trying to be oh so careful with the boxes here. Oh no, it's starting to bend. Oh no. A little bit of a crease there, but that's okay. I'm not too picky about my boxes. I just like to keep them as pristine as possible. But here we are with the marionette. Again, such a clean and smooth and cool pop right here. Like, it's so small and just feels like the puppet. Like, it is a really, really good figure. A little bit of like paint smearing here. Like, I see the teardrops kind of cut off a little before they should. And there is some paint, you know, into the mouth of this figure as well. But again, this is just like little quirks with this particular figure. Because of the price point. These were like $30, you wouldn't have these issues. At least I don't think. But no, these are like really, really cheap and accessible, and that's what I love about Pops, is because they're wildly accessible. Like, there are so many places you can get them, and they're all, you're never going to find a Funko Pop of this normal size above $15. Maybe for $16 to $17, depending on where you're getting them, but most of the time, they're going to be within the $10 to $12 price range, which is what I love about these Pops. So now we have all of the new Withereds, which are probably the most common thing people are talking about nowadays, but we'll go ahead and just hop right in, and let's start with probably Withered Freddy is the most basic of the bunch, so we'll go ahead and get him out here for you all to see. Yeah, and here he is. Oh, these feel definitely a lot more bulkier than the other ones. Withered Freddy. It does look very akin to the original Freddy Fazbear. I don't have that figure personally, but I do have the Nightmare Freddy figure, who I actually only have out of box. I do not have his box. He actually has several rows of teeth in there, which is a really cool detail. FNaF Pops usually don't have that level of depth, but this wave they really went all out for. He has tons of like texturing and, dare I say, withering on him, which is a really, really cool part. His head doesn't really turn too much. I forgot to be checking the other pops for that, but I don't really want to mess with the joint too much. His colors are a little bit brighter than the box art initially states. Like, he is a slightly brighter brown, looking more akin to the color scheme of the original Freddy Pop, but still a really cool figure overall. Yes, I am an in-box collector, I know. Most of the casual FNaF fan base shrugs, like, why would you spend money on a figure and then keep it in its box? But to me personally, like, the box art and everything like that, like, it really, like, adds to the figure. So I personally love to see them in box. Plus, for storage reasons, that works out a lot, because you have every figure in a nice, pristine little cardboard square that will easily stack up, just like so. We'll go ahead and open up Withered Foxy next. Again, probably the second most basic, but definitely step up. Open him up here. Again, decreasing that folder at the bottom. Well, I'm collecting these for my own. I do not plan on reselling these, so that does not matter to me. Alright, so here we have the Withered Foxy Pop. And wow, this is really cool. He's definitely lighter than Freddy, but again, has that really cool wither texturing. Has no back part, so you just see the back of his jaw there, which is a really cool detail. Mouth does have several rows of teeth as well. The withering and the detail on it is really, really good. You see all of his endo. The one major complaint is that his color scheme of the box does actually very accurately replicate what you're going to get here, which means this weird dark snout that really isn't on the character, it really should be a brighter shade of brown, is what's there. It looks like a minor prototype fluke that was never corrected properly and made it to the production line, if I had to take a guess. So this might be one of the pops that we see in the future, as akin to the Rockstar Foxy Pop, actually, where the colors were off, and then later releases, it got fixed. So this might be like a first edition Withered Foxy Pop, and then in the future we will see a non-coloration of this one. Because this has happened several times. The other example I can think of is the Happy Frog Pop from the Pizza Simulator line, and that had like no rings around its eyes, and then that came out in later batches and it did have rings around its eyes, so very possible that that's just that. The next one we'll do here is Withered Chica, kind of ramping up, the amalgamations as we go. That was a really bad crease there, oh well. The reason why we're opening from the bottom, right? Alright, and wow. So this, from what I can feel... Okay, it's slightly lighter than the Freddy. Actually some denting in this one as well. And no, that's not, like, an issue with manufacturing. It's a genuine design detail, which is really cool. Withering and the texturing on here is really cool as well. You even have these back connector pieces as on the actual Withered Chica. And, like, the depth of the mouth is really, really good. The hands in the iconic pose where they're kind of off to the side. This does, like, when you look at this, it kind of does seem like it's just Chica with a weird jaw, but in person, and you can even kind of start to see it here, like, you can kind of tell, like, this feels more like Withered Chica than what any of the art or promotional material of these really do. Like, this does feel like Withered Chica. I thought it was just going to be Chica with a weird jaw, but no, this does feel like it. And like, when you consider the pop stylization of these figures, it is kind of hard to replicate, the difference between normal Chica and Withered Chica in it. So this works as well as it could have, in my opinion. The jaw really does help it in this case, which is a pleasant surprise. I was 100% expecting to say, like, oh, it's just Chica, but they added withering. But no, it does feel like FNaF 2 Withered Chica. Alright, second to last one for today will be Withered Bonnie. And all of these, like, are slightly hard to open just because they have that weird new, like, factory new feel that, like, some things have when, they're, factory new. And here is Withered Bonnie. Feels about... Honestly, I think this might be heavier than Withered Freddy, because I don't think... This head definitely is not hollow like Withered Freddy's probably is. So he actually is, like, a really heavy-feeling pop. I guess made up for the fact that, you know, half of his face is missing. But still a really cool pop. Definitely like the posing of this Withered Bonnie way better than the original. It was more so like the mold spoke for itself on the original Withered Bonnie, so they kind of had to put him in a unique pose here, which is very much appreciated. Plus the unique texturing of this Wither set as well really helps this character stand out, and overall is an amazing figure, like probably my favorite of the Withered set. Why can this never just work? And now we have the deluxe Mango Pop, the real star of the show. This is probably one of the coolest pops ever produced, in my opinion. It even has a backdrop there, which I never noticed in the back of the box there. So we'll go ahead and... Oh, it even has like thicker cardboard in the boxing as well to really insinuate this. Alright, we're gonna go from the top for this one. Alright, well that would be why it feels slightly harder. There's the backdrop for the pop as well, just a nice little screen capture from the FNaF 2 office. Alright, so here is Mangle, and oh my gosh. Actually, I think it's lighter than Withered Bonnie and Withered Freddy, but that's okay because oh my gosh, this is insane. Has that nice withered texturing on all of its actual like costumed pieces, but the endo feels nice and smooth and janky. Again, depth to the mouth, not as much as the other ones, mainly because of how wide the jaw has to be. The head does turn actually very well compared to that of some of the other Withereds. You got the bow right there. Doesn't have a ribbon on the back of the endo though, but I think that's fine. Just a nice little clip on. Endo head's a little weird, having its eye look like it's just made to have one eye versus, you know, the other eye being cut off as in FNaF 2, but overall still a really neat figure and an amazing must-have addition to the collection in my opinion. That is the entirety of the Withered set, plus a few extras. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know if you want to see more types of content like this, and I will see you all in the next one.
Also, the minis will be posted on Saturday, not a week from today, because I suck at editing. Bye-bye.